Hello everyone. In this lecture, we will see what is meant by cloud computing and what are different applications of it. So basically, the cloud computing provides us a means by which we can access the applications as utilities over the internet. It allows us to create, configure, and customize applications online. So in the current information technology era, cloud computing is a versatile technology that can support, we can say, broad spectrum of applications. Low cost of cloud computing and its dynamic scaling renders it an innovation driver for small companies, particularly in the developing world. So it is a model, we can say, for enabling convenient on-demand network access to a shared pool of configurable computing resources. Means we can say networks are there, servers are there, storage are there, application services are there, and these are rapidly increasing, and we have to go with it with minimal management efforts and service provider interaction. For this purpose, we can use the cloud computing. So basically, what is meant by cloud? The term cloud refers to a network or internet. In other words, we can say that cloud is something which is present at remote location. Cloud can provide service over the network, that is on public network or on private network, that is WAN, LAN, and VPN. Most of the students are aware about the WAN and LAN, like wide area network, local area network. VPN is the virtual private network. Lots of people nowadays using cloud computing. They even don't know how they are using, but they are using, like email, web conferencing, customer relationship management. These all run under the cloud only. Next is, what is mean by cloud computing? So cloud computing refers to manipulating, configuring, and accessing the applications online. It offers online data storage, infrastructure, and applications. Basically, cloud computing contains different types of things, we can say, as mentioned above. Network, server, storage, applications are there, and what we have to do is we have to collect all the things, and we can access it online. We can go for online data storage, and we can manage the things online. For this, like we have to use to store large amount of data. Previously, we have to use the database management systems, but nowadays it is not possible to save all the data in simple database management system. So in such cases, we can go for the cloud. And the thing computing refers to manipulating, configuring, and accessing the applications online. It means uh, we can say that we have to save the data, we can retrieve the data, we can update the data, and all these things we can perform online only. So this is all about cloud computing. So there are some basic concepts regarding it. There are certain services and models working behind the scene, making the cloud computing feasible and accessible to end users. Following are the working models for cloud computing. Means how actually cloud computing runs. So there are basically two models. First is deployment model and second is service model. So deployment model, so it defines uh, the type of access to the cloud. That is how cloud is located. Cloud can have any of four types of access. Means uh, it is not like the thing we are storing the data, we are storing the data, we are storing the data, or we are going to access if we want to access the data, and how we have to access the data, where it is located, how we can manipulate the data. So based on that, there are basically four types of clouds, we can say, which comes under deployment model. We will see one by one. So first is public cloud. So in simple terms, we can say public cloud services are characterized as it is available to clients from a third party service provider via the internet. The term public does not always mean free, even though it can be free or fairly inexpensive to use. A public cloud does not mean that users' data is publicly visible. Public cloud vendors typically provide an access control mechanism for their users. Public clouds provides an elastic cost-effective means to deploy solutions. Means public cloud allows the systems and services to be easily accessible to general public, and public clouds may be less secure because its openness, but it's not like the thing that anyone can come and access your cloud because it is public. It also have its own authentication systems, it also has its own security systems, but the thing is it is accessible to the public, whoever authentic for that cloud, and uh, it is not like the thing that these clouds are free of cost. Okay, so next is private cloud. Private cloud allows systems and services to be accessible within an organization. It offers increased security because of its private nature. It offers many benefits as compared to public cloud, such as it is elastic and service based. The difference between private and public cloud is that in private cloud based service, data and processes are managed within the organization without the restrictions of network bandwidth, security exposures, and legal requirements that using public cloud services might entail. In addition, private cloud services offers the provider and the user greater control of the cloud infrastructure, improving security because users access and the network used are restricted and designated. So this type of cloud is generally used within the organization. So more security is provided under this type of cloud. Third one is community cloud. Community cloud allows systems and services to be accessible by group of organizations, where we can say it is controlled and used by group of organizations that have shared interests such as specific security requirements or a common mission. The members of the community share access to the data and applications in the cloud. So whoever is present in that organization, they are able to access the data provided in the cloud by using the community cloud. Means it is having its own applications, its own advantages over it. And last one is hybrid cloud. So hybrid cloud is a mixture of public and private cloud. However, critical activities are performed using private cloud, while non-critical activities are performed using public cloud. Because there are some applications which requires a combination of both, like public and private cloud. In this type of applications, we can go for the hybrid cloud, and in this model, users typically outsource non-business critical information and processing to the public cloud while keeping business critical services, the data in their control. For such type of applications, we can go for the hybrid cloud. Next one is service model. So service models are the reference model on which cloud computing is based. This can be categorized into three basic service models as listed below. Means whatever we have seen before this, that are the type of clouds the people or the customers are using. But on what basis they are using it, that base we can say that are categorized into three parts again. That is infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. But we cannot say that these three things covers all cloud computing, because there are many other service models, all of which can take the form like anything as a service or everything as a service. So this can be a network as a service, this can be a business as a service, this can be a identity as a service, this can be database as a service or strategy as a service. Means in cloud, what kind of access you are taking from the cloud providers. Based on that, you can go for the any service model or what type of service you require. On the basis of that, you can go for the service models provided here. Next is what we can say is infrastructure as a service is the most basic level of service. Each of the service models make use of underlying service model, that is each inherits the security and management mechanism from the underlying model. Infrastructure as a service is the basic thing from all the types of models. It basically delivers a platform virtualization outsourced service. The consumer can control the environment as a service rather than purchasing servers, softwares, data center space, or network equipments. Consumer buy those resources as a fully operating systems, storage deployed applications, and possibly networking components such as firewalls and load balancers, but not the cloud infrastructure beneath them. Means what it contains or what it is exactly. So it is not always possible for everyone to buy everything they need for their applications. So in such cases, we can go for the infrastructure as a service. Here, what you have to do, you have to go for the things or you have to pay for the things which you want or which you are using. Okay. So infrastructure as a service provides access to fundamental resources such as physical machines, virtual machines, and virtual storage. Means whatever the data we are storing under the cloud, we cannot say that it is stored on in this drive, it is stored on this drive. It may be stored anywhere. We can get some virtual storage for it. Along with that, we can use different firewall systems for any application if it needs. Like you can go for the infrastructure. Next is a platform as a service. Next is a platform as a service. It provides the runtime environment for applications, development, and deployment tools. So we can say that this kind of cloud computing provides development environment as a service. The consumer can use middleman's equipment to develop his own program and deliver it to the users through internet and servers. The consumer controls the application that run in the environment, but that does not control the operating systems, hardware, or network infrastructures on which they are running. There are some platforms, there are some applications on which any user wants to run their applications, so they can even go for the cloud computing along with the platform as a service. Whatever the platform you are using and what kind of service provider is there, on the basis of that you have to pay for that, and you can easily access that and you can run your applications over there. You can even develop your applications, you can even deploy your tools over there. Next is the software as a service. It allows to use software applications as a service to end users. So in cloud computing environment, software as a service is a software that is owned, delivered, and managed remotely by one or more providers, and that is offered as a pay per use manner. As before I mentioned, all these things are on the basis of pay per uses basis. So again, the software as a service is a thing where different software applications are there, and you can go there, you can design your own softwares by using that softwares, or you can subscribe that softwares in which number of opportunities are there for greater efficiency, and in some cases greater performance is also there. So the typical user of software as a service offering usually has neither knowledge nor control about the infrastructure, because they are third party organizers, or they are making available the things to the users, whoever is going to use the service. So they don't know about the infrastructure, they don't know about the platforms and all the things. They only know there are different softwares or applications are there, and user can go there and run their applications and even develop their own applications. So what is the basically history of cloud computing is, where it is evolved and how it is evolved. So cloud computing came into existence in 1950 with implementation of mainframe computers accessible via thin or static clients. Since then, cloud computing has been evolved from static clients to dynamic ones, from software to services. So before that, before cloud computing, there was the thing like client and server are there, or we can say the mainframe computers was there. We were doing the things, and server is making report for all these things. Clients are sending the requests, and servers are providing access to the clients, and all these things were there. These all were the traditional method of computers. But after that, cloud computing comes into picture, in which you can see here in a mainframe computers in 1950s, automation phase was started where the infrastructure was localized. In 1960s, in-demand personal desktops were there. Then decentralized computing and birth of IT service industries were started, where we can see the rise of the PC, because before that the mainframe computers was there, means a huge computer was there. After that in 1960s, PCs, rise of the PCs were started. In 1990s, client server architecture came into picture, where virtual private network offered, and demand for high bandwidth, because till then number of users were increased, and dot-com revolution was started in 1990s. After that, hosted environment started in 2000, that is IT infrastructure management outsourcing. Then increased use of virtualization. So instead of going for everything and anything, you can use the virtual systems and the things. It comes into picture. And after that, cloud computing emerged beyond 2010. So where actually as a service system evolved, like we can say infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, everything as a service. So everything it comes under the cloud computing. And in 2010 or after 2010, all these things came into focus or came into picture, that something computing was started there. And after that, till now, uh, lots of research have done till today, and again going on. So very emerging area it is, and very huge applications are there. Along with the applications, lots of challenges are also there, and issues also there, we can say. But still opportunities are there. Along with all these things, what are some advantages of cloud computing? So first is, one can access applications as a utilities over the internet. Second, one can manipulate or configure the applications online at any time. As I said, you are having everything as a service available online. So you can go for manipulation or configuration of the applications. It does not require to install a specific piece of software to access or manipulate cloud application. Cloud computing offers online development and deployment tools, programming runtime environment through platform as a service model. Cloud resources are available over the network in a manner that provides platform independence access to any type of clients. Cloud computing offers on-demand self-service. The resources can be used without interaction with cloud service providers. Cloud computing is highly cost effective because it operates at higher efficiencies with greater utilization. It just requires an internet connection. Cloud computing offers load balancing that makes it more reliable. So very basic or very simple advantages are there. Uh, so here we can see what are the benefits in the form of picture only. So whatever we have seen before this, like applications as a utility over the internet. One can manipulate and configure the applications online. No specific software is required for the cloud. Online development and deployment tools. Resources available on network. So it has on-demand self-service. It is cost effective because it requires only internet. and it is highly efficient, reliable, and flexible. Like whatever the data you are storing on the cloud, you can access it anywhere in the world. So this is not the joke, we can say. Lots of things are behind this, and lots of efforts are there behind this. Next one is, as I said before, as something is having advantages, there are some risks also. So all the cloud computing is a great innovation in the world of computing. There also exist some downsides of cloud computing. We can say risk to it again. So first thing is security, because as everything is available online, uh, one can easily think about it that instead of saving the data on the desktop or PC, one can easily go for the cloud. But the thing is security and privacy. So it is the biggest concern about cloud computing, since data management and infrastructure management in cloud is provided by third party. It is always a risk to hand over the sensitive information to such providers. And although the cloud computing vendors ensure more secure password protected accounts, any sign of security breach would result in loss of clients and businesses. But when using cloud-based service, one is thinking their data to third-party storage and security. So can one assume that cloud-based company will protect or secure their data? Uh, so the thing is, security is very basic concern, and the thing or the cloud service providers are there. So what they have to do is they have to make, or uh, they have to give people trust that they can secure their data, they can provide privacy to their data, as the data is sensitive. So next one is lock-in. Next one is lock-in. So it is very difficult for the customers to switch from one cloud service provider to another. It results in dependency on a particular CSP for service. Next one is isolation failure. This risk involves the failure of isolation mechanism that separates storage, memory, routing between the different tenants. Next is management interface comprise, in which in the case of public cloud providers, the customer management interfaces are accessible through the internet. Next is insecure or incomplete data deletion. It is possible that the data requested for deletion may not get deleted. It happens either because extra copies of data are stored but are not available, or disk destroyed also stores the data from other tenants. So these are some risks which comes along with the advantages. Uh, so the thing is, whatever the cloud service providers are there, they have to whatever the cloud service providers are there, so they have to think about the risk present over there, and they have to minimize the risk so that it will create, or it will make some trust. It will make some trust with the customers, and lots of customers should go for the cloud service providers. So there are some characteristics of cloud computing. Basically, there are four key characteristics of cloud computing. First one is deployment model, service models, essential characteristics, and common characteristics. So there are some essential characteristics. They are on-demand self-service, broad network access, resource pooling, and rapid elasticity. Like cloud computing allows the users to use web services and resources on demand. One can log into the website at any time, and it can use them. Next is broad network access. Since cloud computing is completely web-based, can be accessed from anywhere and at any time. Cloud computing allows multiple tenants to share a pool of resources. One can share single physical instance of hardware, database, and basic infrastructure. And it is very easy to scale up or down the resources at any time. So it may be elastic, or cloud computing services are elastic. Resources used by the customers or currently assigned to the customers are automatically monitor. So this lecture contains very basic things about the cloud computing, like what is mean by cloud computing, what are some advantages of it, what are some risks of it, what types of models are there, and how they are used, where they have used. Thank you.